Wells Fargo has a patent on the smart dust. And I read it so you don't have to. That's you. Wells Fargo has a patent on the smart dust. And I read it so you don't have to. That's you. That's your phone. That's the smart dust. From here on out, you shall be known as 202. But first, how is 5G connected to smart dust? 5G is literally how they are going to collect data from smart dust in real time. It will allow them to collect large volumes of data simultaneously. Challenges and concerns? Just privacy issues. So as you know from the previous video, there are a lot of uses for smart dust. So how would Wells Fargo use smart dust? Well, they're going to make sure 202 isn't 203. But how are they going to do that? By performing facial and body recognition. So 202 is attempting to initiate a payment using a mobile device. The base station can send instructions to activate smart dust device 210 to authenticate user 202. The motes that make up smart dust can be suspended in the air and surround or be near user 202 while collecting data. In some embodiments, the nodes can be self-propelled and able to move around. So they can control these things. Some modes may move passively on the wind or using Brownian motion. The motes may also be carried by a user and released when the user attempts to make a purchase using a mobile payment or a credit card payment. I mean, am I reading this correctly? They could be carried by the user and released when the user attempts to make a purchase, like they can just fly away? It will be performing facial and body recognition. The optical data can also be used to gather biometric data, as in the weight, your facial recognition, your fingerprint data. In conjunction with one or more sets of data from the other sensors, the audio data can be used to authenticate your voice, can be used to detect your heart rate, your blood pressure, and other biometric data. Also can detect your body temperature and your breathing rate. It can also measure magnetic fields and read any RFID tags that the user may carry. And then, of course, there's GPS data to see the location of the smart dust. From everything I've read, smart dust is definitely the future of smart cities. Here's the thing about smart dust is none of us would ever know. If it's on us, breathe it in, how would we know?
If your city's on this list, then it's going to be a participating city in the smart city. Going into 2024, they already started 2023, and there's going to be more cities to join eventually. A smart city is a city that focuses on safer streets, improved infrastructure, better city utilities, healthier environments, improved transportation, and prioritizes public safety by means of being a smart city. Now, essentially what all this means is that your major city that you're living in will eventually participate in doing facial recognition when it wants to find maybe a criminal. Or if there is a lost child, instead of doing like an Amber Alert, it will just automatically scan children's faces, hoping to locate the missing child. In some instances, like hospitals, instead of having a receptionist doing all the signing in, as you may already see, your receptionist is pretty much like a little tablet or a screen. It signs you in, or you can do it on your phone. Or even taking it a step further, instead of it taking, or somebody taking your temperature, they'll have a robot taking your temperature, taking your blood pressure, so on and so forth, and then they'll sign you into triage. That's how the smart city thing is going to work. Or it's even going to just take down into account how many people live in the city. So every time somebody moves, it's going to be registered in the system, and it's going to go into their city database, and they're going to constantly get updates about how many people are living in the city, the type of race they are, low income, wealthy people, all kinds of things. And of course, we have the criminal thing where it's going to have people's face being scanned. If they have some type of, alert on somebody that's missing or some type of criminal, they're going to automatically scan people's faces, and they're going to see who matches the description. And they may ultimately have people come out to the house, or they may ultimately have people approach you saying, hey, you match your description, blah, blah, blah. This is what smart cities, this is what we're heading towards at this point. Yes, you can kind of think of it as an invasion of privacy, one invasion or, whatever, against your rights or whatever it may be, but we can't do anything about it because a lot of major cities will be participating. If your city is on that list, just know they are participating. And if you really want to know if your city is on the list, if you didn't see it, there's a longer list. You just have to visit this website, NLC, National League of Cities. But yeah, it's happening, and it's happening now.
Did you know that as of today, multiple cities and towns across the United States are actively pursuing to start smart city initiatives? Let me know if your town or city comes up on this list. Number 1, Columbus, Ohio. The city received $40 million from the United States Department of Transportation and another $10 million from Vulcan Incorporated. Number 2, New York City, New York. Number 3, San Leandro, California. Number 4, Santa Cruz, California. Number 5, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Number 6, Denver, Colorado. Number 7, San Francisco, California. Number 8, Dallas, Texas. Number 9, Chicago, Illinois. Number 10, Seattle, Washington. Number 11, Charlotte, Carolina. Number 12, Fresno, California. Number 13, Louisville, Kentucky. Number 14, LaGrange, Georgia. Number 15, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Number 16, Miami-Dade County, Florida. Number 17, Washington, D.C. Number 18, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And finally, number 20, Oakland, California.
This is a list of participating smart cities.
America, wake up, my sleeping beauty. So beautiful as you lie there as a princess who rests in peace, knowing that her guard will keep her safe. There is danger lurking to take you away and scatter your children throughout the earth. Wake, my beauty, for death has come to your door and hell has surrounded your family. For your king is calling. Oh, the king is calling you, most beautiful one. He has issued his voice throughout your land. He is crying, wake up and present yourself, for I love you. You have went away from me, cries the king. Why did you leave my side, my beauty? You must wake up.
Listen, I think we can all put the dots together and we can see a trend. If your city is scheduled to become a smart city, like any of these, you may want to think about putting together a bug out bag just to be prepared. There, that made it a little bit easier for you to read. And, there's no guarantee that anything crazy is going to happen, but, there's no guarantee that there won't be a natural disaster coming up. Better to be safe than sorry, better to plan ahead, and, just keep paying attention to the patterns of where these natural disasters happen, especially if you live in any of these cities. It's just a pattern that we're all seeing by now. I'm not saying be afraid. Don't be scared. Be prepared.